In the building. Hey. You see, that's also why I didn't give up. You know, we got the people. Like, this is who I am. I'm Victor Villa, your local friendly taquero. Come try my tacos. You know, let me like put a smile on your face. Andy Green, what's up? Hit me up, man. You don't see nothing or what? Like, hit me up, brother. I had enough for 2 tables. I had enough for 1 canopy. I had enough for maybe the first 2 or 3 pop-ups to like buy the meat, buy the cheese, buy the masa, buy everything that I needed, all the produce, you know, all the dairy and the meat for 2 or 3 pop-ups. And we started that way. She's like, Mijo, you should probably go back to that job. And I'm like, and I look at her and I tell her, a wise person once told me, if it was easy, everybody would do that.
Okay. Hi everyone, my name's Gia and we're back here on C-STE Corner. Except we're outside. We're here.
Outside, baby.
We're here with our special guest.
My name is Victor Villa, owner and founder of Villa's Tacos. Owner, founder, dishwasher, manager, tortillero, carnicero, you name it. I play it here at Villa's Tacos. CSUN alumni, class of 2015.
Yay! All right. So tell us a little bit more about Villa's Tacos, how you get started, the origin story. How did Villa's Tacos come to be?
Villa's Tacos started off as an idea in my mind. You know, I grew up in different restaurants. I worked in many different restaurants. And ever since I was a kid, I knew one day I would have my own restaurant. I didn't know exactly what it was going to be or what kind of food we would focus on. But slowly I started building this beautiful taco in my mind and started kind of gathering the pieces of the puzzle together. And on November 2nd, 2018, I got those pieces of the puzzle, put them together, and I started my first pop-up in the front yard of my grandma's house down the street on Avenue 50 in Lincoln, here in Highland Park, on November 2nd, 2018. So I took the leap of faith and I took something from an idea and I made it into an actual concept, turned it into reality on that day. And, you know, I just kind of kept on moving forward, kept on pressing, kept on driving and moving and serving these tacos. And I mean, the rest, as they say, is history.
Yay! What do you think was like the hardest part about your journey so far?
I think definitely the hardest part was not giving up.
Yeah.
You know, when things are going wrong, when the bank account is at negative and you're tired, you're hungry, your refrigerator's empty, you know, that night you might have not sold a good amount of tacos or maybe even none, you know? It's easy to give up. Everybody else, or not everybody else, because I don't know everybody else, but, you know, it would have been easy to just say, all right, I'm going to go back to my well-paying job. I'm going to go back to that place where I was comfortable. And, you know, at least I tried and I gave it my all.
Yeah.
At least I had a couple customers and at least I served an X amount of people. But I think the hardest part of it all was not losing faith and not giving up in my journey. Because I knew that we had the product,
Yeah.
I knew that we had the service, and I knew that we had all components that could lead to a successful business. But it really took a lot from me, a lot of heart, a lot of drive, a lot of motivation, and honestly, a lot of faith in myself, in the Lord, to keep on going and not give up. So, I mean, working 16 hours, that's hard. You know, working 16 hours, 5 days, 6 days straight, that's hard.
Yeah.
Don't get me wrong. But the hardest part is not losing faith and not giving up. We'll wait a little bit.
Do you think it's really different going from being in your own community in like your backyard to like going into this whole venue?
You know, the best way I could put it is like when you're willing to work with literally whatever you have.
Yeah.
So when I started the business, I didn't have much.
Mm-hmm.
When I say much, I don't have money. Like, that's why I started the way I did.
Mm-hmm.
I bought a grill. I invested in that. I had enough for 2 tables. I had enough for one canopy. I
Mm-hmm.
had enough for maybe the first 2 or 3 pop-ups to like buy the meat, buy the cheese, buy the masa, buy everything that I needed, all the
Yeah.
produce, all the dairy and the meat for 2 or 3 pop-ups. And we started that way. So when you want to win so bad, no matter what, when you have a burning desire to just do whatever you got to do
Mm-hmm.
to make it,
Yeah.
I think no matter the circumstances, no matter the time, eventually you're going to do it.
Mm-hmm.
And that was my mentality. I had enough. I barely had any money,
Mm-hmm.
but I had enough to buy my first grill, my first mesquite grill, and I called her Maria, and she still sits at my grandma's house,
Oh, really?
and she collects rust, and anybody else would have thrown her away, but to me, it's like she's so special because
Mm-hmm.
she was there, and I refer to her as she, but it's literally a grill, that doesn't necessarily have a name, but to me, it
Mm-hmm.
did. But I had enough for that, and I had enough for the first couple pop-ups, and I would pop up, and sometimes I would do good, and sometimes, I wouldn't do as good as I would
Yeah.
hope for, but I kept on going, and we would open 5 days a week, and eventually more and more people started coming, and then we were first we started at my grandma's house. Then we moved to the street, started getting traction, started getting more customers and more popularity.
Mm-hmm.
Then the pandemic came, and we took a couple months off, and that's when I really had to put on my thinking cap
Yeah.
and my innovative cap and think, all right, how can I still sell tacos? Everybody's scared of literally just a cough, or like during that time,
Yeah.
like someone coughed, everybody looks at them like, and it was a sad, to me it was a sad time because everything
Mm-hmm.
was closed, um and your favorite your favorite restaurant was closed, your favorite theme park was closed, bars were
Mm-hmm.
closed, churches were closed, gyms were closed, everything was closed. So I'm like, let's give the people something to look forward to.
Yeah.
So we started taking orders on Tuesday for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, and we
Oh,
would
that's
sell
cool.
out sometimes in about a
Mm-hmm.
minute. We did that for about a year or maybe a little more, but we gained popularity because we gave people something to look forward to in a time where there wasn't really much.
Yeah.
In a time where there was a lot of confusion and just like, I don't know, wasn't much for someone to look forward to. So we gave them that. We were just building our brand and making connections with people. But where I'm going with that is whenever a problem came up or a situation, we would try our best with what we had at our disposal to do our best in solving that, or in doing our best and improving our service, even, or our little restaurant on
Mm-hmm.
in our truck that we would unload and put in the street. But I kind of look at that like that was necessary to
Mm-hmm.
build this this brand that we have now, that we know as Via's Tacos, and we get customers from all over the world. But I'll make a comparison that I look at as we were working on, like a digging company with a
Oh.
shovel,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
And we became one of the biggest known digging companies in the U.S. We came out on like Netflix Talk Chronicles, and we did a bunch of
Yeah.
stuff during that time, and we did it all with a shovel,
Mm-hmm.
right? But we still were well known, and we would get contracted a lot to dig these big holes.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what we did with the shovel. And of course, we were saving up for the bulldozer, you know? And now that we have the bulldozer, it's like we could still work with the shovel and we would be okay. But now that we have the bulldozer, everything's a little easier. So we don't have to waste as much time unloading and loading.
Mm-hmm.
Instead, we could focus more on the customers. We could focus more on efficiency and all the factors that come into play when you own a restaurant.
Mm-hmm.
But it was because of that shovel and the humble starts and the humble beginnings that allowed us to get to where we are now. And now we have not only one bulldozer, but we have three
Mm-hmm.
and counting. So I'm
Yeah.
proud that we started with that humble shovel.
Yeah. I love a good underdog story. I love a good background.
Thank you.
How do you think CSUN really helped play into that whole business aspect of everything? Because you graduated a business.
2015.
Yeah, business major.
Yeah,
Yes. Yeah.
business management class of 2015. Well, I went to CSUN, and luckily for me, I already knew that I was born for business. Ever since I was a kid, I've always been like my own entrepreneur. When I was 7, I would pull the weeds for the older ladies across the street, and they would pay me $5 and a can of Coca-Cola. I was probably 7, 8 years old, getting sunburned, child labor, right? Illegal child labor. But I was happy because I had $5 and a can of Coca-Cola. And then I got a little older. I would throw parties. I know Anna's husband. He knows about those parties, and in this area, I was known for that. So I'm like, all right, now I have the understanding of business. Now let me take my understanding and enhance it to the next level. And that's what I think CSUN did for me. It enhanced my knowledge and my understanding, my wisdom of business, and it took it to the next level by meeting professors like Professor Zaromsky that helped me with labor law, understanding the law of employment and of labor, and to not get sued, to protect your assets, protect the basket of eggs, right? Or I had people like Sandy E. Green with decision making when you take factors like your pathos, ethos, and logos into decision making and how you manage your business, how you manage your marketing, and how you put all those three decision making factors into play whenever you're making a decision or when you're doing something that has to do with your business. Use pathos, ethos, and logos. So those two professors actually stand out to me whenever I'm thinking of my CSUN years, and they really played a big factor in my pride, in my alma mater, and honestly, in my understanding of what it means to be a business major.
Oh, that's good. I love that. I feel like you have such great passion for the work that you do and that you put back into the community. So I think that really helps like you getting out there, which is really nice.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do, and more and more I find myself to be, or try to be, try to walk a righteous life,
Mm-hmm.
try to be a man of God, and I'm grateful because I really believe that it was the Lord that put me in this position to be the leader, to
Mm-hmm.
be the shepherd of all our sheep here, all of the
Yeah.
lambs, all of the workers that we have. He put me in this position because he
Mm-hmm.
knew that I would do something good with it. And I think we do something good with it. We help out the community, we help
Yeah.
out schools, we help out the homeless, we help out kids in Mexico. We've done it all, and I don't put that out there like that because that's not why I do it. I don't do
Yeah.
it for the cameras. I do it
Mm-hmm.
for myself, for my heart, and for the Lord above. So
And now you have three locations.
yeah,
You
and
have,
counting.
yeah, a
Yeah.
barber shop and a fish.
I have Via's Tacos #1
Mm-hmm.
here on Avenue 54 in Figueroa. I have Via's Tacos #2 at the Grand Central Market, stall 9 and 10. I have Via's Tacos #3, which is our newest restaurant. It's our fish and shrimp taco restaurant
Oh, nice.
located on Avenue 61 in Figueroa. I
Mm-hmm.
have Via's Barber Shop, which is located on York and 57. And then we have 3 leases that we just signed.
Oh,
So I
wow.
have, yeah, thank you. I have 2 more Via's Tacos coming, and I have another curveball. I always like having something under like a curveball or like just a crazy pitch in my arsenal. So pretty soon I'll announce it what we're gonna do. But we have another business coming that's gonna be, I think,
Oh.
another absolute banger.
So keep in tune.
Yep. Stay tuned, baby.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned. So tell us a little bit more about how you started expanding. Like when did you know, okay, it's time for me to grow bigger?
Well, I'm telling you, like, we not only did I have a shovel in my hand, but everybody who worked for the company at the time, they also had a shovel in their hand. So they were also, you know, becoming bad ASSs with that shovel.
Mm-hmm.
And we did that for 4.5 years. So by the time we opened up this restaurant, we had a bunch of employees, and we opened this one and we're like, hey, this is a lot easier,
Oh.
because it takes 10 shovels to do what one bulldozer does.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so we're all like waiting our turn for the bulldozer. Like, this is easy. We could wash dishes here. We could prep here. We get everything delivered here. We don't have to unload. We don't have to reload. We don't have to go wash dishes after we finish. And we don't got to take stuff from there to over there to the. We got everything that we need here. So we're much more efficient because we've been doing stuff the hard way. And I'm not saying that this is easy, but it's a lot easier than doing
Yeah.
things, doing stuff the way we used to do it. You know, this is an absolute blessing. Like, and it only took a couple months, and after I was like, you know what? I'm ready. Like, I'm ready for another one. But it wasn't like, oh wow, in 6 months you were able to grow your business from one restaurant to two. It was like, no, 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 no. You're forgetting about the other 4.5 years. So like, it might sound cool, which it does sound cool. Like, oh wow, you grew your first restaurant in a second in 6 months. But it's like, no, you're forgetting about the 4.5 years.
Yeah.
You know, so that's what we did, and we got here, and we're just all gas, no brakes. That's what I like to say. You know, I work hard. Like I told you, used to do 16-hour days, 5, 6 days a week. And that's okay. If I had to do it again, I would do it again. The hard work doesn't scare me.
Yeah.
It actually motivates me and pushes me and drives me. And I'm hungry. I'm thirsty. Like, let's eat. You know,
I love
but not
it.
like in a selfish, greedy way. It's just
Yeah.
like that's what feeds my like my hunger and other things too. But I just like trying and pushing
Yeah.
myself and seeing how much I'm capable of, because I find out the more you push yourself, the higher your capability grows,
Yeah.
right? The higher you're like, oh wow, I knew I could do it, but like I'm actually doing it. Here I go. Let's do another one. Let's do another one. So we did this one, did that one, and I was looking for another opportunity. And right now, you know, gracias a Dios, like opportunity keeps on knocking on our door. But we're very strategic because it's important. Like going back to CSUN, it's location, 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 right? That's
Yeah.
what we learn in business. So I was like, okay, I don't want to open up over there. Okay, it's a good opportunity, but it's not in the area that I want to be in. I have my roadmap of where I want Via's Tacos to go. And right now we have 1 through 10. After we finish the 1 through 10, we'll focus on 11 through 20. But for now, I'm only focused on 1 through 10. We're already on number 3. We got 4 and 5. Now we focus on 5 through 10. And then after we close that first chapter of Via's Tacos, we'll go through 1 and 20. You know, so
A steady journey.
that's where
Yeah.
we're at, yeah. But location, location, location. Down the street, at Via's Tacos number 3, it was one of the most historic, if not the most historic restaurant here in Highland Park. My family has been in Highland Park for over 42 years. So when they offered me to take over that restaurant, I was like, you know, I think this is meant to be, because I have some really good fish taco recipes that I want to put into effect, but we don't have the space here nor over there, nor would I really want to have a menu like full of a bunch of stuff, because we like focusing on quality, and we like focusing on a small, like, quality focused menu, and that's what we do. When you start adding all this crazy amount of stuff in there, that's when I think you stop like focusing exactly on like the quality. Maybe not, but I'd rather just open another one to hold the concept there. Now the other restaurant, I probably won't open any other Via's Tacos like that one, but I figured if I was gonna do anything new and something like an exciting menu, a menu that might work or might not work, or it's kind of like I'm rolling the dice, you know, because I could copy and paste this anywhere else, and I'm almost certain it's gonna work, right? But I was like, let's take a chance. Where else should I do it other than Highland Park? The neighborhood and the community that saw us grow from the front of my grandma's house to the street, to the first restaurant here, to 2 restaurants. Now let me offer my community something new that is special to this community, because they saw us, they helped us get to where we are. So that's what I did. And you know, I wake up every day. You know, I thank God for being here, and I get to work.
Yeah, and I think the quality speaks for itself, because I think I saw somewhere that you have a Michelin
Yes.
guide. So can I know a little bit more about that?
So we've won a lot of awards. Won like best tacos in LA 2 years in a row, and then we won it again. We were we won it 3 times out of 4.
Oh, is that the Taco Madness
Taco
one?
Madness.
Yeah.
But on the third year, the year that we came out just a little short, like literally a little short, um, a couple months later, we got a message from the Michelin Guide asking us for photos because they said we were, peace out, my man. Bye, ma. Take care. They said that we were up for consideration. So I got excited, sent them pics, some great pics. And I was like, you know what? Whatever's meant to be will be. That's how I am. Like I'm not,
Yeah.
that's why I don't have no worries. I don't really stress about stuff. I don't really overthink stuff because
Mhm.
hey, whatever. If it's meant to be, it'll be.
Mhm.
But sure enough, hey, congratulations, Via's Tacos. We want to let you know that you made it to the Michelin Guide. Boom. That was, we made it on the Michelin Guide. And then after, we received another email. Congratulations, Via's Tacos. You have been awarded a Michelin Bib Gourmand. And now I was like, yo, like, and I told my people, and we just started like, we're happy, because we work,
Yeah.
everybody, watch. Let me see a smile, brother. You see? On command. It's not a fake smile. That's a real smile because he really loves what he's doing.
Mhm.
Like that's what makes Via's Talk so special. I think that's what drives people from all over the place, all
Mhm.
over the world. When you walk in here, you feel at home and you taste the food and it feels like you're at home and it feels like something special about this place. It's not only the food, it's
Mhm.
it's it's that smile. It's that tortilla. The tortillas from, she's smiling right now. She's throwing that tortilla, and so is he. Like I don't even know what they're talking about, but it makes me want to smile.
Mhm.
And I think that's really why we have that Michelin Bib Gourmand. I honestly think if we were to be selling our food out of a vending machine here, or let's say if the windows were all blacked out and
Mhm.
we had this little window right here that you don't talk to anybody and you order and you get your food, I think
Yeah.
we still would have got the Michelin Bib Gourmand.
Yeah.
But when you enhance it with people who love what they're doing,
Mhm.
with that smile, with that signature, hi, how you doing?
Mhm.
Welcome to Via's
Mhm.
Tacos, with a clean table, with a nice clean restaurant,
Yeah.
and like maybe some art in there. Like now you're like, now we're really talking.
Yeah.
Now like you got something good going on. So
Mhm.
that's how I train all my coworkers here, and we work together in unison, and we understand that it's because of everybody that comes and
Mhm.
eats here. They are the ones that allow us to keep these doors open, the water running, the electricity going,
Mhm.
and we like showing our appreciation for them. So we do that by giving them the best taco that we could possibly do
Mhm.
and giving them the best service that we could possibly do as well.
I like how everyone feels like a family. Even when I was watching the Netflix episode, it had like that family feeling. How was filming that Taco Chronicle episode?
Filming right there is like
Yeah.
filming right here. Like
Yeah.
I don't really like get ready for nothing
Mhm.
because it just comes naturally. Like
Mhm.
this is who I am.
Mhm.
I'm Victor Villa, your local friendly taquero. Come try my tacos, let me like put a smile on your face through our food, through our service. And usually we have the music bumping loud, but out of respect to, to the filming crew, we turned it down. So that's why it sounds kind of quiet in there. Usually we got the music bumping and,
Mhm.
hey, welcome, how you guys doing? We're not, when the cameras turn on or when they turn off, nothing changes.
Yeah.
It's just the cameras were turned on and that's what you saw.
Mhm.
So nothing's really different. Everything's the same. Maybe after certain filming with this person or that person, maybe it gets a little busier.
Yeah.
That's probably the only thing that we notice the difference. And
Mhm.
I think by having that little busier, time period, we have that little opportunity to wow the guest
Mhm.
a little more.
Yeah.
So we try to be a little better today than we were yesterday, and a little better tomorrow than we're today. And as long as you have that in your mentality, sure, maybe I didn't do my best today, but let me come in tomorrow and try harder. Try just a little harder.
Mhm. You gave a lot of good advice, but I'm just gonna ask this question.
Yeah.
What is one advice you have for future student entrepreneurs?
If it was easy, everybody would do it. That's what my grandma used to tell me. And when I was going through the hard times, the trials and tribulations of starting this business, my grandma would see me struggling and sometimes, getting a little emotional.
Mhm.
And she would see me tired. And she was the one that told me, like, You know, si era fácil, todos lo hicieran. Lo hicieron. Yeah, I'm not a Spanish major. um, si era fácil, todos lo hicieran. And during that time, where, you know, like I said, usually people would probably go back to their comfort zone. But my grandma she was starting worrying about me because she knew I came from a really good job. You know, I was damn near on the road to making like six figures at that job. She's like, Mijo, you should probably go back to that job. And I'm like, and I look at her and I tell her, a wise person once told me, if it was easy, everybody would do that. So to all the CSUN majors out there, just know that, you know, school was part of it. Now that it's over, it's time for the real world. It's not, no one's gonna give you homework. No one's gonna give you this chapter book to read. It's gonna be up to you to build your success, surround yourself with other like-minded people, and if you can, find a mentor. My mentor comes from books, comes from people like Napoleon Hill, you know, Tony Robbins, and other greats that have taken years out of their life to write great pieces. So even though I grew up in the hood where there's no real like people that you necessarily look up to, find those people, even if they're not alive. Find their readings, find their teachings. And just because you graduated doesn't mean you have to stop learning. You should never stop learning. You should keep on going. And whatever you choose to do in life, choose to do it to the best of your ability and choose to give it your all. Because if you don't do that, then why are you doing it? If your heart's not in there, why are you doing it? Life's too short to live a mediocre life and a life that you are not proud of. So every night before you turn off the lights, you ask yourself, did I give it my all today? And the answer to that should always be yes. Because if it's not, then you got to question yourself. I need to try harder. How can I try harder? How can I give it more? And once you answer those questions, you'll be on route to a better life.
I think social media plays a big role in like how your business has grown.
Yes.
How do you think that helped you?
Well, I think, you know, we use social media to the best of our ability. We try to make like, you know, videos that people could relate to. So social media is good, but then it's also it has its positives and negatives, right? Like positive, you could do your videos and you could, you know, like offer people to come. Hey guys, check this out. This is the product that we have.
Yeah.
But then also social media, especially if you're not using it for that, you start scrolling and you start seeing people that are happy, that have things that you want. You're like, why don't I have that? Maybe, and that's not the mentality you should think. So
Yeah.
don't use social media for those negative aspects. Don't compare yourself to nobody, or don't look like, let's say if you're starting an ice cream shop or a nail salon, don't look at the next nail salon or the other next nail salon next door and say, why are they doing so bad? Like, if anything, you could talk to them and you could use them as your mentor, right? But social media should be used as a means of promotion, promoting your brand, letting people know what you have, letting people know how you cook your meat, how you make your tortillas, where your customers come from, who is your customers, and who you are. Most importantly, my name is Victor Villa. I'm your local friendly taquero, and I'm here to make you the best possible taco that I can make. Come try my food. These tacos in the build. You know, you hit them with something like something clever, something funny. Again, if you attract the the logical appeal, the emotional appeal, and the ethical appeal all at the same time, then that's the key to making a great video, a great decision, and a great business. You know, so use social media that way, the way Sandy E. Green showed us. Sandy E. Green, what's up? Hit me up, man. You don't see nothing or what? Like, hit me up, brother. Come on.
Where can he find you? Where
Find
can
me
he
right
find
here,
you?
Sandy. Via's Tacos in Highland Park on Avenue 51. You can find us right here at Via's Tacos on Avenue 54 in Figueroa. Hit me up. Call the number that you see online.
Right here.
I just might pick up. Sandy Green, Professor Zoromsky, holla at your boy. I'm waiting for your call. I've been reaching out to CSUN, asking about you guys. But I hope you guys are good. To the class of 2015, congratulations. I wish you guys the best. And to all future CSUN students and alumni, go Matadors. Once a Matador,
Always a
always a
matador.
Matador.
Yay! Thank you so much.
How was that?
Beautiful. That was so fun.